Hey everyone, welcome to another episode with the plugs. Chris here today, and today I'd like to share a message with you all on the power of execution. I think this is a very pertinent topic right now as we approach a new year. And whether you're listening to this at the beginning of the year, the middle, quarter way through, or almost to the end, this is still relevant to you. We had an episode recently on vision hosted by Marshall where he shares some great advice on how exactly we can go about accomplishing a vision we have in our heart. But the power of execution is also very important. A lot of times, some of us struggle with creating a goal and then figuring out how we're going to get there. We have something in our mind that we'd like to achieve, but it's almost as if we put a destination in our GPS without the GPS giving us any turn-by-turn directions. What the power of execution will do for you is create that roadmap. It'll give you a list of directional guidance of how to get to your destination. I'm not saying that there won't be obstacles, not saying that there won't be roadblocks. I'm not saying that there won't be some areas where you might necessarily get stuck or have to backtrack or make a U-turn. I'm using that as an example, but you guys get the point. When it comes to execution, when it comes to accomplishing something that you have set in your heart and mind that you like to do, there are many parts, but for today, I'm going to mention the top three. The first one, the first most important step when it comes to execution is setting. And I'm not talking about what's around you. When I say setting, I mean setting your mind and setting small actionable items. You have to begin creating the blueprint to figure out in what way are all of the pieces and material going to come together for me to complete this vision that I have in my heart and mind. When it comes to execution, it's very, very important for you to set your mind. Make a note in your brain and say, you know what? This is my goal. This is what I'd like to get done. And be stuck on it. We all know that one person who can be very, what do we like to say? Set in their ways, right? They're very stubborn. Once they make up their mind, it's very hard to sway them. Well, you need to be the same way about your own goals. Have your mind set, and no matter what anybody tells you, no matter if they say you can't, it seems like too much of a reach, you don't have enough money, you don't have enough support, you don't have enough help, set in your mind that this is what I'm going to accomplish, this is my goal, and I'm going to accomplish it no matter what. The second part of setting is creating those small, actionable items. These are the steps that we need to take to get to the goal. If you have a goal or vision, I'll use something very generic. Let's say that you want to start a business. I hear people say that all the time. I want to start my own business. I don't want to start my own XYZ company. And then when I ask them a little bit further, well, what's your timeline? When would you like that to get started? You know, what have you done so far? A lot of times, I really don't have any fruitful answers. Why? When you have something set in your mind that you would like to accomplish, the next step is to begin creating a game plan. If you have set in your mind that you'd like to start a business, how are you going to do that? Well, you may not get to creating the business plan right away, but there are certain steps that you can take before you get to the business plan. Do some research. Even if you spend 6 months, 8 months, in the moment, you might think, this is so stupid. I'm not doing anything to work towards my goal. But in reality, you are. By setting your mind, hey, I want to start a business, and then dedicating yourself. Maybe you dedicate 5 hours a week just on research, just on gathering notes, just on gathering information. How do you start a business? Look up your website. Is it already taken? How do you create an LLC? All of those things that you begin to research and look into, they are all watering the seed for your business. In the moment, it might not seem like you're doing a lot, but you are. The second part of the power of execution is accountability. Create a means for yourself to be held accountable. We all should have at least one person that we can share our goal with. Another example may be a fitness goal. And this is another one that I hear often. People say, this year, I want to get fit. This year, I'm going to eat right and exercise more. Well, how are you telling your brain a method to actually get that done? Instead of saying something very generic like that, create items that you can complete. So instead of saying, I want to get fit, I'm going to start exercising more and eating better, say, you know what? I'm going to commit myself for this very first month to work out twice a week and do at least 30 minutes of cardio. Some of you out there might say, well, that's not a lot. But for someone just starting out, I think that that is a great start. And I think that that is a very achievable goal. And then from there, share it with someone. Maybe you're intimidated by having a workout partner because you feel like you can't keep up. That's okay. But share your goal with somebody. Say, hey, I've set this goal and I'm really focused in on executing it. Please hold me accountable. Check in with me. Ask how it's going. Maybe you can send me recipes. Give me some encouragement. What does that do? That eliminates that easy route that you can take when you don't feel like it, for one. And for two, think about what it does to the other person for you to come to them and confide in them with something like that. Now, in turn, this person might say, wow, you know what? There's something that I want to achieve, and I'd like them to hold me accountable. I'd like some encouragement in this area. So it almost sort of has this ripple effect, that accountability piece. Now, the third thing is rewarding yourself. We often indulge in too many pleasures, and there's no balance between work and play. But the great thing is, when you begin to create a healthy balance, if you go through something where you're working towards your goal and you're working really hard, sometimes you can get burnt out. Sometimes you can feel like you're not getting anywhere. Sometimes you can feel like you're banging your head against the wall. Well, what you can do is, again, create those actionable items and then reward yourself. What this does is train your brain to know, hey, if I work at this, we've set this goal, there will be a reward afterwards. And eventually, it won't just be you rewarding yourself. Let me give you an example. Back to the business plan example. You've been working really hard on doing research. And you say, you know what? I've been doing this research for 3 months. If I can just get the first 2 pages of my business plan done, I'm going to take a break. And I'm going to indulge in something I like for a few days. Maybe it's playing video games, binge watching your favorite old show, whatever it is. Little things like that, it does something to your brain. You teach it, well, you know what? I did all the things I was supposed to do, so now I get to enjoy this. If you're like me, you sometimes have trouble setting apart time to rest, setting apart that time to reward yourself. But that is a very, very vital piece of execution. You need rest and you need to reward yourself. So, top 3 things when it comes to the power of execution. 1, setting. Set your mind and set specific, actionable items. Number 2, create a method for yourself to be held accountable. Number 3, reward yourself. Make sure you take time to rest. If you go through a period where you spend a week not doing the things that you set out to do, that's okay. That doesn't mean give up. That doesn't mean throw your hands up and get frustrated and say, well, I messed up this week, that's it. No. Pick up where you left off and you just keep going. So what are some ways that you guys commit to execution? What are some ways that you all stay motivated, that you hold yourself accountable? Send us a message. Reach out to us at theplugspodcast.com. I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback. And if you have any questions, let us know. We'd love to help you.